Hello, how are you guys doing today? I see Monica is here already. Look at that. Woohoo, Monica is like really early. Well, not really early. Monica is like really on time. Um, why is my Instagram not being Instagrammy? Oh, wait. Haha. There we go. All right. I never am patient enough. It's always like just as I'm starting to get frustrated is when the Instagram shows up every single time. There we go. I should know that. I think it just takes like 30 seconds after I start the live before Instagram identifies that it has started. But we already have somebody over there, a couple somebodies over there, which is awesome. Cool beans. And today is the first Wednesday after the new issue came out. So we are going to go over the new issue. All right. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, I was running. There was today's sit and stitch was actually this morning. And so it ended like 10 minutes ago, and I ran upstairs for a bathroom break and to inhale a banana. Sarah was there. Hi, Sarah. I just saw you. Like I said, we ended like 10 minutes ago. Ran upstairs, little break, got myself a banana. Now I'm back. And I just want to give people a little bit of time to show up. Brain fry. So, yeah, long time no see, Sarah says. Today we are going to go over look at all the different patterns that are in the September issue of Crochet Foundry and talk about a few other fun things. So that is what is on the schedule for today. And I just want to, I feel like there was something else I wanted to, you know what? No clue. No clue at all. But my head is hiding it perfectly. Look, books? What books? I don't see any books. Do you see any books? Books. So I have a stack of books. Okay, the top couple aren't here. All right, I have a stack of books I need to review. I'm very looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to reviewing the stack of books. Some of them will be reviewed on Crochet Foundry. Some of them will be reviewed on Jessie at Home, but they will all be reviewed eventually. So that is really cool. We have, hi, Ashley Wester's Crochet and Knitting Channel. And all right. Oh, and ADK Dragon 05 says hello over on Instagram. Yeah, so I have, like I said, I have some books. I don't know why. I'm like, I think it's because, like I said, today we had the sit and stitch for like the last 2 hours. So from 10 to 12 this morning was the sit and stitch here. And I think it took a lot of my energy apparently, because now I'm like, right, I'm live. I should talk to you people. But like I said, here I have a nice little stack of fun books to review. Most of them are crochet, and I will be reviewing some of them here on Crochet Foundry. I'll be reviewing some of them on Jessie at Home. But I will be reviewing all of them. I have a lot. I've been futzing with my schedule and making sure everything ends up on my schedule, so I stop forgetting things, because I'm like, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that, and then I don't write it down anywhere, or I just write it down on a random piece of paper. So now it's all getting typed onto the calendar and onto the little Trello to-do lists, so that I don't forget these things anymore, and so that this thing that I only have to do once a week actually does get done once a week instead of once a month or so. So hopefully what that means for all of you is that the blog, and for those of you who are members, the members area will actually be growing and not expanding, but expanding, it's the same thing as growing, but there will be some different things happening on it than what is already there. Diversifying, but that's not really the word I want either. There's a word that I want and I just can't figure out what it is, but there'll be more stuff happening on the blog and in the members area, and it will be not the same as what is already there. There'll be some other things. So ADK Dragon 05 is very sweet and says, I have to write notes with my ADD brain as well. Yes, totally, right? Okay, I'm glad that y'all get it. Awesome. So that's what's going on here. And then another fun thing is on Sunday at 4 Eastern, I will be on Alicia Littlejohn's YouTube channel. She does an interview on her YouTube channel every Sunday at 4 p.m. And this Sunday, it is me. And I believe Sarah was going to pop in the link for Alicia's YouTube channel. And Ashley says that she's following me on Instagram. Thank you. Or they are following me on Instagram. Thank you. Here we go. Join Jessie at Alicia Littlejohn Yarn live stream on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And there is the link. Thank you very much, Sarah. So those of you who are on Instagram and don't see that, it's YouTube is just at, like the at symbol, Little John's Yarn. I love Alicia's last name. Isn't it fun? Little John. I tell her that all the time. Alicia is, okay, if y'all like watch Alicia if you all watch Alicia's YouTube channel, which you probably do because it's freaking awesome and she has a really nice following and everything. As nice as you think she is, she's probably nicer. Like, I adore her. She is so fun. And she's always so like put together and just adorable and super fun and smart and funny and she got a little edge to her too when she needs to. It's adorable. I love her. I really, yeah. And she's very, very intelligent, and just a good human being. So I'm super excited about doing the interview with her interviewing me, on Sunday, because any excuse to have some Alicia time is a good excuse. So yeah, I met her at a couple conferences or shows or whatever, and I really, really like her. So, and of course, y'all know she's an amazing designer. She's a wonderful YouTuber. So I'm very, very excited about being on her live stream this Sunday at 4. So that will be a lot of fun. And I think at this point now it is 12:08. So we've given a lot of people some time to actually get here so we can look through the September issue of Crochet Foundry. So let me see. I did actually go ahead and set up my I thought there's a little thing that's showing up on my screen that is only showing up on my screen, and I was thinking it was showing up on yours, and I was very confused. Real quick, Alicia is great. I 100% approve. And hello, Lindsay. Look at that. There's a little tiger. Lion. That's not a tiger. That's a lion. All right. So the September issue of Crochet Foundry here, you can see, is a capsule closet theme. And capsule closet, for those of you who are like, what's that? That is, sometimes they're called capsule closet, sometimes they're called capsule wardrobe, but capsule closet has alliteration, especially with crochet. It's a crochet capsule closet from Crochet Foundry. It's a crochet capsule closet. And what that means is it's just basically, it's pieces that you can mix and match together and that work so that basically because they're very mixable and matchable, and they work well with a variety of other items, so that you can have just like a closet full of these certain things that all work together. It's not like I have this top that only works with this bottom, and I have these bottoms that only work with this top, and instead you're like, I have all of these tops, and I have all of these bottoms, and I have all of these accessories, and they all work together. So that's the idea of what a capsule closet is. They're great for people who travel a lot, people who have not as much closet space, people who just want to not have a million and one things in their closet, whatever floats your boat, dude. So that is the theme for the September issue. And I'm now going to pull up this and make it really big. And this way now we can look at the different designs. So here we have the cirrocumulus sweater, which is named after the clouds that kind of have that same look as you get with this yarn and this stitch. So there's a lot of, this is mainly made with the linen stitch. Some people call it the linen stitch, some people call it the moss stitch, and that is the main stitch of this top. And then of course it's got the little cuff over here, and I really like the look of the neckline on this whole top. I really enjoy it. It's a very cool top. But the way the neckline is really nice, and the cuffs are really nice. It has a very pretty finished look. Sarah says it's got gorgeous, I can't find my mouse, there we go, gorgeous stitch definition. I agree. The mixture of the yarn and the stitches and the design, it all works so well together, and you end up with a piece that that it looks like it's something that it doesn't look homemade. People say there's a difference between homemade and handmade. People are going to have a hard time believing that you made it yourself, because they're going to be like, no, you bought that somewhere. I just love the whole look of this one. And here we go. You can see it on, and you can kind of see this is the same top. So you can see what it looks like if you have a little bit less ease. Okay. So that's wearing it as a little bit more of a fitted item, and this is wearing it as a little bit more of a loose item. There is the recommended amount of ease within the pattern. You go for what makes you happy, and there's lots of measurements in the pattern, so you can see and you can decide if, even though it might recommend X amount of ease around the chest, if you want to make sure that you're getting enough ease around your hips or whatever, you can take a look at that. So here we have a couple of different views of how this looks. And you know what? I really like that it doesn't have a band at the bottom, because I like the way that it looks. It was the right choice for this design. Definitely. I like how it looks at the bottom, where it just hangs straight. There's not a band pulling it in or anything. And it's not super tight, so it doesn't even need the little slits at the sides, which is nice. Here we go, a nice little back view. It's always good to see what they look like from the back, right? And side view. And then we have the Coco Chanel Cardi. Let me just check and see if there's any comments I've missed. Nope. Okay, this is the Coco Chanel Cardi. Obviously, it is inspired, Chanel inspired. I am like, I think it's because we had the 2-hour sit and stitch right before this. I'm like running out of voice. So here we have this lovely cardi. Again, you can see on the tops of the pocket, and there's a pocket on both sides. You'll see it's just got the little border there, a little one row border on the bottom of the cuff, and just around the sides and the neck and the bottom. And it's just like a very clean, classy look, which is totally what works with Coco Chanel kind of inspiration. Here we can see the shoulder nicely. Here we go again, and there's the pocket on the other side. I have the hiccups now because I drank too much water. Look at that. All right. And again, you're seeing it on a couple different people here. I don't know. I really like the clean lines of this. And like I said, the really, really simple but elegant, just little border, one row border with just a little bit of a different color. I don't know. It's very appealing to me. So here we go with the Coco Chanel Cardi. And of course, we have all of these patterns come in sizes that fit basically like a 32-inch chest all the way up to like a 62 or something like that. Pretty big size range within the patterns here. And then this is the little navy dress. And it is a lot of fun. It comes in a little, it's got a little bit of elastic going on the waist. You're going to see the back here in a moment. I really love the way that the shoulders are kind of ruched. They're kind of like pulled in together a little bit at the shoulder. It's a very basic dress, but in a very nice way. It's like not insulting basic. Sometimes basic is an insult, and in this case it's not, especially since we're talking capsule closet, right? You can see how it's beautiful on its own, but then you put things with it, and it's even, and it works. You'll see it with some of the other patterns here. So here we go. Of course, you want to watch your colors when you're layering, right? So here you can see the shoulder a little bit better. I think we have a better view of the shoulder. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about when I said the ruching on the shoulder. That's the fancy pants word from the person who used to be a costume designer and stuff. Ruching. It's when the two sides are gathered together to make almost a little ruffle. They used to make a trim. Ruching was the kind of trim that was used in a lot of Louis XIV costumes, that sort of stuff. But anyway, the two sides are kind of gathered together into that seam. So you have the shoulder seam that's just the length of the shoulder, but the pieces are a little wider than that. And they're just, I like that look that we get from it. And then here you can see in the back, this tie, it is optional. You don't have to have it. And so there is that little tie there. That is great for those of you who are maybe a little worried that it might open up on you, fall off your shoulders. Some people between the way that their body is made and the way that they stand, some people, your shoulders maybe slope a little bit more and some people a little bit less. And if your shoulders are a little more slopey, you might be worried about the dress with the deep V, the V in the front and the back falling off your shoulders. So I love that this little tie here is an option. And Sarah also has a very good point about the ruching. A lot of ruching in plus size garments because it can hide things. And also because it is an alternate or an addition to darts. So, it's really great it's a great way to get the extra fabric you need if you have a larger chest, without having to do a whole lot of darts, which can be, when you're talking in crochet, sometimes that means short rows or lots of decreased stitches or whatever. This way you don't have those short rows or those decreased stitches. It just kind of ruches in at the shoulders, which is nice. So again, this little optional tie on the back gives you a little bit, it gives you that the confidence that your dress is not going to slide off your shoulders. I have a problem when I'm carrying a bag or whatever. I take the bag off and I sometimes catch my shirt in it when I do it, and then I go like this, and so you don't have to worry about accidentally stripping when you do that. So there we go. This is the Melanie cowl. And I love, Melanie is the name of Michelle, the designer. Her mom was named Melanie. Her mom's name is Melanie, and her mom taught her how to crochet. So, I love that. you'll know, you probably have noticed that on the Crochet Foundry blog, we interview the designers about their patterns. It is an optional thing, so there's not necessarily an interview for every single pattern from every single designer, but Melanie did opt to fill out her interview, and so later on this month you will see an interview with Melanie about an interview with Michelle. Michelle did opt to fill in the interview, so you'll see an interview with Michelle about the Melanie cowl. And that's how I happen to know that the name came from her mom, who taught her how to crochet. So I love that. I won't tell you anything else from the interview. You'll have to read it yourself, so that it's a nice surprise when you read it. I don't want to give away the whole interview, right? So anyway, that just made me totally smile. But the naming it after her mom, I thought that was very, very sweet. This is actually made mainly in Tunisian crochet. I believe the border on the top and the bottom is regular crochet, but it's mainly in Tunisian crochet. And while it might look like it's 3 colors, it's actually only 2 colors, because you hold 2 strands of yarn together at the same time. This is one of my favorite tricks, and I love it. It's not a trick. One of my favorite techniques with working in color. So at the bottom here, where it's the darkest, you hold together 2 strands of the darker color. So 2 strands of, we'll call it color A, right? And then in the middle, you hold together 1 strand of color A and 1 strand of color B. And then in the top, you hold together 2 strands of color B. And that's a great way to kind of to nicely flow from one color to the next. It's a wonderful technique to get these what is that called? When it goes from the kind of gradient. It's a wonderful technique to get that gradient, or that ombre kind of look from one color to the next. And because this is a cowl and we're talking fall here, if you're someplace really nice and that gets really cool, that double yarn is also going to keep you a little bit warmer. So that is super cool. And next, here we go. Here you can see again, like I said, that's the idea of the capsule closet, is that things work together. And the little navy dress works well with a lot of the other garments here. So here we can see it with the cowl. All right. And I like the way that the cowl lays, and you can even see on here some of the inside of it. It's still nice and neat and pretty. Right? So, and then we have the pull through wrap. So this is, it's got a nice long color change in this yarn. Okay, and really pretty lacy stitches. I wouldn't recommend like a short color change. Like there's the variegated yarns that have like really short color changes in it. These, when you're talking really decorative stitches, and this is something we were talking about on in the sit and stitch earlier today, somebody was working on a pattern, and it had a very pretty stitch. And so if you did this like decorative stitch and mixed it with a variegated yarn that has like the quick color changes, they take away from each other. So this works well because it's got really long color changes that it just almost looks like you have stripes, basically. And Sarah says this would look amazing in an ombre, and I completely agree. And of course, you could use that same trick. You could use a thinner yarn, and I mean, it's obviously it is going to change your gauge. But if you used a thinner yarn and 2 colors, you could do that same trick that Michelle used in the Melanie cowl to make your own ombre for this. That would be cool. But yeah, I like, they're very pretty little lacy stitches, little kind of lace stitch, and works really well with the long color changes. So there we go. It's another way to wear it. So this is actually just folded in half. She didn't like it doesn't look so much like she put her head through the center. Well, there's not really a center, I guess, because it's not a tube, right? But it's definitely folded a couple times before it's pulled through here. Actually, you know what? It might just be wrapped around now that I'm looking at it. I was not around for this photo shoot. This is from before I bought the magazine. Um, but it's wrapped around and then pulled through, but it's all kind of mushed and the whole thing is pulled through there to make a nice little cowl out of it. And here we have it lying flat again and you can really see this pretty, it looks like it's a 3-row, yeah, maybe actually like I don't know. There might be 5 rows to this stitch pattern. I'm not sure, but yeah, I like the look of it. I think it might be about 5 rows to the stitch pattern. I could be totally wrong though. It might be 3 or 6. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I knew when I was putting the magazine together, but that was a while ago. Anyway, I really like it though. it's a fun pattern. The stitch pattern, it's a very fun stitch pattern. I really like it. Like I said, it works really well with the long color change. And here you can see this worn more like a wrap using the pull through aspect of it, which is awesome. You don't have to worry about it falling off, especially in the fall. Sometimes the winds pick up and you have to like hold yourself your shawl together, or you have a shawl pin, but then you lose the shawl pin. You forget to put the shawl pin on in the morning. You don't have to worry about that with this. It's like self-pinning, right? So there we go. Oh, and now we're over on the textured crop top. So here we go. We've got this nice little texture on the main top with a little bit of a band across the bottom of it here. There we go. And this is one of these kind of tops where it's almost just like 2 squares or rectangles almost. I mean, with the opening for the neck. So there's not a whole lot of shaping to it. So they're easy to make, and they give you, there's nice roominess in the arms and everything. So here we go. And I believe the way that this one is sewn together, it's made longer and then folded right over the shoulders, and then you seam underneath the armhole, which means you can decide, you can pin it together first and go, oh yeah, is this where I want this? I'm not sure if it's folded in half and sewn or if it's switched in the round. I honestly don't remember. But either way, you can make that opening longer or shorter depending on what works for you, which is something that I love when talking about a pattern that fits a variety of sizes, or that like is made in so many sizes. It's nice to be able to figure out that armhole is something that 2 people who wear the same size, especially as you get into a larger size, don't always necessarily want the same size armhole, because it kind of depends on where your, what the size of your own personal biceps are and what's comfortable to you. Some people like their armholes really tight. Some people don't want to feel the armhole at all. So it's nice when you're talking about something that you can adjust the length of the armhole really easily. And these kind of tops are really easy to adjust that armhole. All right, and now we've gone to the tilted block stitch shawl. I don't know why I always want to say tiled. I do not know why, but I have such a hard time with this tilted block stitch shawl. And I love the tilted block stitch. You can see it really well in this photo, and you can see here we have our straight lines, right? But then these are the tilted blocks that are within the straight lines. And this is actually, the rows are worked back and forth this way. Okay. But it creates vertical lines with these little tilted blocks within it going the other way. So I like I love the stitch, the stitch pattern in this shawl. And this is one of those examples again, where when you have a really pretty stitch pattern, you don't need to do a lot with, colors or anything. This works lovely in one solid color. And, you know, it's just one color of one yarn, and it's gorgeous because you have such a pretty stitch pattern that works so well for this piece. So there you go. And of course, this is, you all remember him? This is Camo the Wonder Dog over here. We love Camo. Here we go again with a hat. Why not? So just nice, and you can see it's got a nice size to it, which is great for the fall. Like, this is like, I'm going to sit around the campfire and make my s'mores and wrap myself up in my nice cozy little tilted block stitch shawl. So I love it. There we go again. And oh, I'm like, where's my button? I think that's the end. That is the end. So where is my button for this? There we go. All right, so here we are. We are back. It is only 12:30. Wow. So those are the designs in the capsule closet. We also have some really fun articles and interviews for you. And always we have those puzzles by Debbie, who makes those awesome puzzles. And actually you'll see Debbie now has a new book that is sewing themed puzzles. So if you sew as well, when you're looking in the magazine on the pages with the puzzles, there's the link to Debbie's books, and you'll see she now has that was loud, sorry. She now has some sewing books as well. So, and those are all available on Amazon. And, you know, they're easy to purchase. They're very affordable. They make great gifts. If you're looking for stocking stuffers, oh my goodness. Or just like an easy gift to give a crafty friend. She has some knit puzzle books, some crochet puzzle books, some crochet and knit combined puzzle books, and now she has the sewing puzzle book as well. So I highly recommend her books for like easy gifts, stocking stuffers, whatever. And she's a nice person, so it's nice to know that's, you know, where your money is going and everything. I did want to show you guys something. There's that 3-part article that I wrote, and the September issue has the 3rd part for loving what you create. So basically they're you know, tips on how to make sure you're happy with your finished products, right? Even working from a pattern or not, or, you know, creating your own pattern or working from a pattern, however you're doing it. Just tips about, you know, making sure you have the right yarn choice, watching your gauge, you know, what you want to do with your finishing, how to make sure you kind of infuse your own style in it. Even if it's somebody else's pattern, you can still infuse your own style into it. And the second part was the second part from the August issue was all about gauge, right? And one of the things I say in there is that your mood can affect your gauge. So the other day I was working on this piece, and I started off, and I had this one, right? I started off and I got about this far and I had stopped. And then I had a day. Oh my goodness, did I have a day. Like, I had to go mama bear at the school, and I came home, I fixed it, okay, because mama bear, no messing with my kids. So I came home and I had fixed it, but I was still like, grrr, and I made this, and my gauge got tighter, and now it's like, smile, because my gauge got tighter and everything went, right? And so then yesterday I looked at, that's not okay. So I made it again yesterday, okay? And so now look, I kept the same gauge the entire time because I was just chill and relaxed and had some nice music on. And you kind of want to make sure that you have a nice kind of looser gauge when you're talking about lots of fabric floats on the back, lots of yarn floats on the back, right? So I was just nice and chill the whole time. And this is hysterical, though, when you put them together. Okay, so here we have the one that has like the same gauge the whole time, right? And then here you have, I started with one gauge, and then I got a crying child on the phone and had to go to the school to be a mama bear, and this is what happened. This is the same pattern, the same yarn, the same hook. Okay. But I am so not messing with you when I tell you that your mood affects your gauge. All right. So when you end up with a piece that looks really funky, kind of look at it and be like I kind of look at it and I can see that my gauge got tighter and everything because I was stressed. I was like strangling the hook. But just take a moment and go like, wait, did my gauge change? Or, did I pick up the wrong size hook? Because maybe your gauge didn't change necessarily because of your mood. Maybe you picked up the wrong size hook. Maybe you started with one size, and I know that a lot of us have certain furls hooks that we like maybe you really love the Taurus hook, because I'm a Taurus, so we'll go with the Taurus. Maybe you really love the Taurus streamline and you have it in every single size, right? And so you started crocheting and then you put it down and then you picked up the wrong size because it looked basically the same, right? But you didn't realize you picked up the smaller size hook by mistake. So yeah, if you accidentally pick up the wrong size hook, you're going to have something like this happen. If your gauge has changed, you're going to have something like this happen. But this is obviously, when we're talking, this is supposed to be the beginning of a shawl, right? And then there's going to be more worked around it. But this is not how I want to start my shawl. Right? This is not okay, dude. So here, yeah, Sarah's like, wow, yeah, I was not, it was a day, man. It was a day. Very careful of being tight with your curls resin so you don't snap them. Yeah. I actually was using, where is it? Hold on. This was not a resin. This was actually my, my, silver streamline, my metal streamline. So, though, the fact that I don't know how much it takes to bend one of these suckers. It was a day. It's not bent though, so hey, that's a good sign, right? It looks like your gauge all the time. Oh, Monique, you need a drink before you start crocheting. I have totally messed up. I have gotten a little too relaxed. Gotten my gauge to go a little too loose. Glad you weren't with me that day. Glad you weren't my way that day. Yeah. So I'm wearing the appropriate shirt. Although no, it wasn't actually a trans issue that did that. It was not the trans child that was having the problem that day, and it was not a trans issue. Although I guess the original problem did have to do with that, the original problem that started 3 years ago, but whatever. Anyway, not the point. The point is it was a day, my tension got tighter, and I totally messed up my piece because yeah. And then I thought I'm just gonna undo it and reuse the yarn. And then I'm like, no, I'm not. This is a teaching moment. This is a teachable moment. So I didn't undo it. I left it so I can share my shame with all of you. No, it's not shame. It's not shame because the reason why my tension got tighter was because I was mama bearing, and there's never any shame in taking care of your kids, right? So, oh wait, I didn't realize there's more going on over here on Instagram. Let me see if anybody said anything. Chorette X says beautiful, but I'm not sure when they said that. So, what stitches? I'm thinking you're asking about this because that's right next to what a difference. So, this is just single crochet. This is all just single crochet. It's just with color changes, and I carried the yarn across the back. There will be a free tutorial where this is the beginning, because this is actually the beginning of the August shawl. So there's a shawl. I'm working on getting a shawl for every single issue of Crochet Foundry. My goal is that by 2025, I'll actually have them out the same month. So like when the magazine comes out, it's also part one of the shawl that comes out. But the shawl patterns you can see right now, the July pattern is on the Crochet Foundry blog. So if you're here, let me show you. Oop, oh, I did not mean to remove. I meant to. Okay, that works. There we go. Oh, blog. There we go. I'm like, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. So if you clicked on blog and then you go over to Cal Crochet Along. Oh my goodness. You can see here we have the summer resort shawl, which was the July pattern. And these are really the patterns are broken down into their different sections. There's one section for every pattern within. There's one section of the shawl for every pattern within the magazine. So the July magazine had 8 patterns. So there's 8 sections, and almost every section has a video that goes with it. So you can see we have the supplies list, the special stitches, and then here we have section 1. And section 1 is really, there's charts and everything in section 1. And videos. Section 2 did not have a video. Section 3, there's the pattern and the video. And the videos are both right-handed and left-handed. So yeah, I do my best to make sure they're really, really easy to follow. And this, I took a lot of photos and stuff with this guy. Oops, let me go back to this guy, the screen. There we go. So this is actually the beginning of the August shawl. Like I said, my goal is that by the time we're doing the January 2025 issue, when the January 2025 issue comes out, so will section 1 of the January shawl. And while it is released in sections for the Crochet Along, it's all in one post. So whenever the next section is released, it's just added on to the same post on the blog. So you don't have to bounce from post to post to post to get the full pattern. Okay. And you can participate in the Crochet Along aspect of it also by being a member of the Crochet Foundry Makes group on Facebook. And we are getting so this is the Crochet Foundry Makes. You can look up Crochet Foundry Makes, but this is the link. We do have some sponsors for giveaways now, so that is an option. Like if you're actually posting about the Crochet Along, every month there'll be a post within Crochet Foundry Makes for the Crochet Along, and when you post in there, that gets you an entrance into the giveaway. So that everybody who's actually participating in the Crochet Along is entered in the giveaway, and then you can win whatever the prize is. So we have a couple really awesome sponsors recently, so that's cool. And with this one, the video and everything really shows you how to carry the yarn. So while this is just a regular old single crochet, I show you how to do the yarn floats in the back, because you can see it's still got movement to it, right? When you crochet, because in a lot of places we have 3 colors, the color being crocheted and the two colors being carried. And if I were crocheting over top of the two colors being carried every single time, not only would it make it thicker, so it wouldn't, it wouldn't have the movement that you really want in a shawl, but also you're more likely to see the other colors through it. Whereas in most of these cases, when you're seeing other colors, it's just because it's a what is this called? Tweed. It's a tweed yarn, so it's got little bits of color in it. There's a couple places where you can see like a little bit of like the green or whatever through here, but for the most part you don't see it anywhere near as much as you do when you're going over top in every single stitch. So I show you how to do that, and I find that the way, because I tried a bunch of different ways, and I find that the way that I do this, it still has movement. You don't see it very much in the front, and it doesn't tend to gather your work really small or make it so that it loses its stretch. Sometimes when you're carrying yarn, you can get to the point where like your crochet loses its movement. It loses its stretch because when you're carrying the yarn, there's no stretch to it. The reason why crochet has stretch is because of all the little loopy things going on it, right? But where you carry the yarn is straight, and it's only going to pull as far as the yarn is long. It's not going to pull as much as the crochet with all the loops in it. So you want to have the right amount of pull to it so that it doesn't kill the drape of your crochet fabric. So yeah, I tried a bunch of different things and finally found the one that I thought worked the best. But then I had a bad day. So there you go. I've been crocheting since I was 9 and I am 48. So I've been crocheting for nearly 40 years. I do this as a professional, and I still have days where it's like, screw that. I need to start that one over again. So yeah, I still make mistakes. See? Did I say which yarn? No, I did not say which yarn. It is, yes, Universal. Universal Deluxe DK Tweed Superwash is the yarn. Am I going to be able to? There we go. Universal Deluxe DK Tweed Superwash. Okay. And of course, when I have the pattern, you will see all the yarn information will be in there. Okay. Universal is one of our yarn partners. They're really good people. Have gauge issues, but your mood always affects it as well. Yeah. And it does. Your mood totally does. Yeah, it is. It's really nice, right? So I have these 3 colors plus these 2. So I have those 5 colors. All right. Let's see. I think we're basically good here. So just a reminder, we have on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, join Jessie at the Little John's Yarn live stream on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/@littlejohnsyarn. So I will be interviewed by Alicia Littlejohn on her live stream on Sunday on YouTube. And I'm very excited because I love Alicia. She is awesome sauce. So go ahead and join us there. Remember, there are several ways here. We'll go back to this real quick and I will show you, because some people are like, the only way to buy the current issue is if you have a membership. And while I will recommend, why am I scrolling up like this? I didn't need to. The thing was right at the top. While I will, of course, say that the membership is a great way to get the pattern, it is not to get the current issue. It is not the only way. So let's pop over to the current issue here. Okay. So right now you can see it says $0 US. That's because I am signed in with my membership. If I were to sign out, log out. Okay. All right. So there we go. There I am. if you are not a member, this is what you see. There's no way to buy this, right? Because like there's not a buy button. And that's because it's the current issue. You can go and you go to a past issue and you can buy last month's magazine right here for $12.99. Okay, so if you want this month's magazine, what can you do? There's a couple options. You can buy a yearly membership. The yearly membership is, well, here, the monthly membership. The monthly membership is $14.99 a month, which is $2 more than a past issue, and you get access to the members area. And there's bonuses in there. There's all of the crochet along is in there with all the videos, but the videos do not have ads on them. The videos on the Crochet Foundry blog are embedded through YouTube, and therefore they have the YouTube ads, which is how I get paid for making those videos for you. But if you are one of the members and you go to the you look at the pattern in the membership area, those videos do not have ads in them. And there's other bonuses in there as well. So the monthly membership is $14.99 a month. And you can cancel anytime. It auto renews, but you can cancel anytime. Okay. And then the yearly membership is $149.99. So you're basically getting 2 months free. It's $149.99 a year. And those are ways that you can then, you saw when I was logged in on the current month, I can choose to buy it for $0. And then if I forgot to do that, if you did that, like at the beginning of every month, I always get a couple emails from somebody going, I forgot to buy, like I had like 4, I think, people send me an email. I forgot to grab the August email while it was still free for me. No problem. I handled it. I got it to them. No cost, whatever. They were members. They get it. All right. I love it when you remember to get it, but when you forget, you just email me and it's all good. And it ends up in your purchases. So even if you do cancel your membership, you can still go back and it's list. That's the reason why you have to do the buying it for $0, because it was the only way that if you cancel your membership, it would still show up as a purchase. All right. And I wanted to make sure that if somebody canceled their membership, they still had access to all of the issues from when they were a member. It didn't feel right to me to have them lose all of their issues if they canceled their membership, because they had paid for all those issues, right? So that's why I know it's a little annoying that you have to buy it for $0, but it was the only way to guarantee that you would still have access to each of those issues, even if you cancel your membership. And that was very important to me. Now, there is one other way that you can get the current month issue, and that is, here we go. I have a seasonal bundle for every single season. So September is the first month of fall. September, October, November are fall. So you can buy the seasonal bundle, and that is $34.99. Okay. So, and you get the 3 issues for the season. Okay. So you're saving a little bit of money off of the $12.99, because at $12.99, it would have been $39, right? Or it would have been $38.97. So you're saving about $4 here by buying the seasonal bundle. And so you could buy the fall bundle right now. You would have immediate access to the September issue. And then when the October issue comes out, you'll get a little email saying, here's the download link for your October issue. And when the November issue comes out, you'll get a little email saying, here's the download link for your November issue. Whenever you get those emails that have the links in them, I recommend keeping them, because sometimes you can get the links from your customer area and sometimes you can't. It depends on Shopify's mood. Really depends on what the latest update to Shopify is. Sometimes they update it in a way that you can get them. Sometimes they update it in a way that you can't. If you ever have a problem accessing any of your issues, just shoot me an email. Definitely make sure that I know, this is the email that I ordered it from. If you happen to still have the order number, that makes my life easier. But as long as you can tell me which issue it was and this is the email I ordered it from, then I can figure everything else out. Order number just definitely makes it a lot easier. Okay. So don't ever worry if you lose your downloads. Just shoot me an email, support@crochetfoundry.com. I will always make sure you have access to anything you paid for. I don't care if it was when I owned it or not. Okay. But the seasonal bundles are a great way to get immediate access to the current issue without being a member. I personally think you should be a member. You definitely save the most money by being an annual member. But I am also well aware that $150, $149.99 in one chunk, while I feel like it's reasonable price for what you're getting, can be a lot of money for some people. So I want to make sure you know what the other options are. So yeah, the $34.99 3 times a year or 4 times a year would get you the quarterly bundles. And this does not renew. The bundles do not renew. So you'd have to actually go in and buy the fall bundle, and then when the winter bundle comes out, you'd have to buy the winter bundle individually. It's not only the memberships are the only things that renew. Nothing else renews. And of course, if even $34.99 in one shot is just a little too much more money for you, there is the monthly membership, which is $14.99 each month. And then you can also, if you don't want to do that and you don't want the membership, you don't want the members area, you can wait until the next month and buy the individual issues at $12.99. And you can always go back and buy any of the old issues. Okay. So if there's any of them that you missed, then go back and grab them. So there you go. Those are all of the ways. Let me see. We have Nazabel. Yes. Loves Alicia. I agree. Okay, the yarn is beautiful. And here, let me go back to this shot. There we go. What time is it again on Sunday? 4 p.m. Eastern. And it's YouTube at Little John's Yarn with an S at the end of John, Little John's Yarn. Yes, there are many options. I tried to make sure that there are ways for people who wanted just essentially a subscription, which is what the membership does. But there were also ways for people who just wanted the magazine without the membership and all of that. So I tried to make sure there were options, and I really like the idea of the seasonal bundles. Like, that's something that had already been happening that I kept going because I just thought it was cool, right? I think I need to go back. I don't know that necessarily every season in the past has a bundle available to sell, but I do need to go back and make sure that that is the case. So there we go. I think that's basically everything for today. I've been going for 3 hours at this point because we had our live earlier, our sit and stitch. So yeah, I will see you all next week. And we're going to have some guests coming up on some of the upcoming Wednesday lunch with the Foundries. We have some sponsors and then some people who just kind of, some people who I think you would be cool to chat with you. So yeah, we're going to be having some fun guests, and I'm really looking forward to that. All right. So make sure you are getting the newsletter and popping by on Wednesdays noon Eastern for these. And when you're on the newsletter, you'll definitely get every Saturday we have a newsletter, and then 4 hours before the sit and stitch, you get a reminder that the sit and stitch starts in 4 hours. The Saturday newsletter will tell you what time the next sit and stitch is, because I have the first Wednesday is at this time, the second Wednesday is at that time, the third Wednesday is, in order to make sure that there are times that work for a variety of people. So it's in the Saturday newsletter, and then you get a reminder newsletter 4 hours before the stitch starts, because they're always a whole lot of fun. Today's was very educational. There were a couple different questions, so we had some really fun crochet chat today too, and some fun other chat as well. So all right, looking forward to the guests, definitely. All right, I will talk to y'all later, And yeah, I hope to see you all on Sunday or, at least see you in the comments section on Sunday at Alicia's live. That will be super, super fun. All right. Bye bye. Have a nice day.